Good day, awesome YouTubers. It's VolleyMan16 here for another episode of Dragon Ball Super Reviews, and this one is the exciting start of the Future Trunks arc, episode 47, which is entitled here Mirai Kara no SOS Kuroki Arata ne na Teki Awareru. That's kind of a difficult one to say, but it does translate into SOS from the future. A black new enemy appears, and wow, this episode was a very big change, I should say. A very big change in the way that Dragon Ball Super is heading. Got way more serious in this episode than pretty much any episode I've seen before, and there's actually more deaths in this episode than I thought. So I'll give you kind of a brief rundown. We see in the beginning, there's no recap, no telling of a recap this week. Future Trunks running away from, Black, the enemy, Buraku, the enemy. He's running away. He gets to Bulma, who's working on, getting enough fuel for the time machine so that Trunks can go back into the past. And he only gets enough fuel for one trip, I think. And it did take quite a long time. I believe it did take around a year, I think it was. I'm getting all these translations from Herms, obviously. Big shout out to Herms. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what's going on at all. So, anyway, they talk for a little bit. Bulma's saying, like, you're our last hope. You have to go back. Mai is waiting for you. And, so after this kind of talk with Bulma, Black Goku appears and he just completely destroyed the building. Bulma and Trunks are there. Bulma's kind of hurt. She actually gets caught by the Buraku, the enemy. And wow, I was kind of surprised at this. I kind of knew it was coming, but okay. Here's the big one, guys. Bulma dies. That's no joke. She actually was vaporized by Buraku. Okay. I mean, legit vaporized. And, we get to... So after that, we get to Goku and Piccolo on the present timeline. Okay, they're having like a, family thing. They're having kind of a farm off. I'm not... kind of why. An interesting thing to note here is that Chi-Chi actually wants to go to the train. While they're doing this, while they're at their home, basically. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a train. Anyway, so Goku's called Piccolo over to train with him in the fields. What they're doing essentially is they're trying to use their speed and their, speed and whatnot to basically dig up all the cabbages that are ripe and ready to go. Him and Piccolo and doing this. Scene where Krillin arrives, talks a little bit. There's a little bit of kind of flashback also. I was kind of surprised at how many flashbacks and stuff are in this episode. There was a small flashback, Goku talking to Piccolo about Kamei Sennin, or Master Roshi, and how their training was kind of similar to the way Master Roshi had them do as, when he was a kid, and that the kind of the digging of the earth kind of stuff. That's what he did. Anyway, so after that kind of scene, we go to Vegeta, who's training on Beerus' home planet again. He's fighting Whis, and he's still not hitting Whis at all, which further implicates that Whis is still way stronger than him. Vegeta trains. He actually powers up to full power for an instant, Super Saiyan Blue. But Goku realized this after. I forgot to mention that Krillin says to Goku, Vegeta is training on Beerus' planet, and Goku uses the instant transmission to sense this. Again, I'm kind of surprised at this. I didn't think that Goku could actually sense and go over there. Whereas before the training, remember guys, before the training, I think in episode 16 or 15 or something like that, Goku could not sense the place, okay? He could not sense and he could not teleport, uses Shunkun Ido, or the instantaneous movement, the instant transmission. He could not teleport there, but now he can, so which shows the payoff of the training. And so after this kind of scene, Goku teleports over. Vegeta's in his god form. he kind of runs into Goku and powers down. We have a scene with Whis, Beerus, Goku, and Vegeta all eating ramen. They're kind of waiting for it's the time to eat and stuff, and Whis is counting that down. Another interesting note here is that Whis tells, they're talking about other stuff, and Goku's kind of excited for the Omniverse tournament, which will eventually happen someday. And he's talking about Zeno and stuff, and obviously Beerus gets a little nervous. Whis actually notes that the Omni King is the strongest. Okay, this is kind of weird and interesting at the same time. Beerus says that the Zeno Omni King, he doesn't actually fight, but he is the strongest, which is kind of weird. I don't know if Beerus is faking that or whatever. I think not, because Whis is telling them he is. But anyway, another interesting thing, there used to be actually 18 universes, but the Omni King destroyed 6 of them when he was angry. So dang, the Omni King's power is way beyond anything we've ever seen before, and it's a pretty big thing actually. So afterwards we return back to Future Trunks and Mai. They're sitting in a room of somewhere, it's not really specified where, talking a little bit, and funny scene with a cat comes in there with actually Mai gives Trunks a can of meat, and some of that he feeds to the cat, which is kind of funny. It's a little cute cat thing in the middle of this apocalyptic world. That's boy, it's apocalyptic, that's for dang sure. So anyway, a couple more things to note here. While they're talking, pretty much not Black Goku, but Trunks, Future Trunks actually, notes that Goku Buraku, or this new enemy, can actually sense his ki, which I guess he couldn't do that before. They're actually running away. They're going actually towards Capsule Corp to try and get the time travel machine. The time machine, that's what you call it. So they're trying to get to the time machine. Okay, big explosions everywhere. The Buraku enemy, black enemy, comes down and attacks. Mai tries to, Future Trunks tries to give the fuel to Mai, but then, he goes for the sword, he goes to pull out his sword, he goes for a sword attack. So he does this, and he gets knocked back. Another very interesting thing is, Trunks' sword, when he swings it, actually created a beam, so it's like, it's like if you ever watch the anime Bleach, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like the Getsuga Tensho, or, the Lunar Fang Heavenly Slayer. A little bit like that, except his beam is yellow. I don't know if he ever did that in the original series in Dragon Ball Z, but it's a very interesting thing to note. He has a flashback of Cell, Vegeta using Final Flash, Gohan, SS2 Gohan versus, Cell and all that stuff, back in the Cell arc of Dragon Ball Z. I'm pretty sure it's Kai footage, so, it's a refreshing thing to see there. So, Black attacks. Mike tries to use her shotgun, like bazooka thing, to attack. Doesn't work at all. She gets knocked back, almost pretty much unconscious. And, that's pretty much where we leave the episode. Future Trunks is holding Mai in his arms, and Black is saying, like, today is the day you die, Saiyajin. So he's saying today is pretty much the day you die, and interesting, very interesting here. So he does have I believe he does have only one earring, okay? And this is very interesting to note, because if you've seen the intro for this week, they have a new intro. Mai is a pretty prominent figure in it. We get scenes of Trunks where the Universe 6 fighters were. In that scene, they changed it up to Future Trunks, Mai, and, Black Goku using his, kind of like a dark purplish Kamehameha, which I'm very interested to see that. And at the end, Goku and Vegeta step in to use their god forms in their regular outfits. So Goku is using his standard gi, and Vegeta is using his old battle armor from Battle of Gods and the Cell Saga and stuff like that. He's using that again. They go into the god forms, but then right after that we cut to like his awesome image of Future Trunks, Mai, and this new enemy, and supposedly a green Kaioshin, which that's really weird. I don't know what he's going to play a role in. I'm pretty sure it's going to be big. I can't wait for it. Next week we're going to get more stuff. Future Trunks is coming back to the present. I don't know if Mai is coming with him. I don't think so, because last time we saw Mai, she's pretty much unconscious from Black Goku. So yeah, very interesting, very serious of a tone here. Another thing to note before I go here is that they actually have new transitional cards before the commercial break. It's a picture of Future Trunks and Mai, and they play this for both the intro and outro to the commercial breaks and stuff. So yeah, very very interesting here. I definitely enjoyed this one. It almost looks like this is a completely new thing. I'm really looking forward to this arc, and I really do think this is going to be the best arc of Super, if not of Dragon Ball. I can't wait. So I will see you guys next week for another Dragon Ball Super episode 48 review. And stay out for that. So stay awesome, guys, and have a good one.